Now, whether you're religious or not, if you celebrate Christmas, you can't get away from nativity play. And there's three things that are key to that: gold, frankincense and myrrh, which took me to Oman. I'd come to the Middle East on the trail of the three wise men. My ambition was to track down 2,000-year-old frankincense from the time of Christ and include it in my meal. To do this, I had to travel to the place where the wise men themselves might have found it, a legendary frankincense trading post, the lost city of Ubar. This is satellite imagery from the late 80s, which led to the discovery of the lost city of Ubar. So the thing that really enabled the archaeologists to find this city was these camel tracks, and where they meet, this triangle, that was Ubar. And we believe that this is where the three wise men would have actually passed through. And now these camel tracks have turned into a kind of road, and we were on one. And I can't believe it. There's a camel. At least we knew we were on the right route. A few miles down the road, we found Ubar and one of the men responsible for its discovery, archaeologist Yuri Zarins.
The site itself probably goes back to 200-300 BC, but the actual occupation goes back to 5,000 BC. We have people who've been living here for the last 7,000 years. Biblical research has shown that the wise men came from various parts of southern Arabia, and they were bringing frankincense and myrrh to the baby Jesus, and that road would have gone through here straight up to the Levantine coast. When we can see the outline of the little town itself, the main settlement, so you would envision merchants being attached to each one of these, and they'd be selling goods, frankincense, myrrh, if you like, and other things. And that's what these little stalls represent.
They're little market stalls, effectively.
It's a market stall. That's exactly what that is.
At this site, they have excavated biblical frankincense, but sadly, it was far too valuable and rare for me to use in a meal. Instead, I was going to have to find and harvest my own. So, is there anywhere near here, relatively near here, I can actually tap into a frankincense tree?
But straight across the river, it's only 50 kilometers to the frankincense trees where they actually grow. This is one of the seasons they start harvesting right at the end of the monsoon season.
Frankincense was and is used for a myriad of purposes, from burning at funerals to medicine. In ancient times, this crystallized tree sap was one of the most expensive things on earth and would have been brought by the wise men as a highly symbolic gift. Finally, my quest led me to the harvesting fields, where the locals still guard the valuable sap jealously. Have you ever used frankincense in cooking?
No, perfumes, yes. Cooking, no, we don't cook. We drink frankincense water.
And after some persuasion, I managed to get a chance to capture my own frankincense. Literally, the sap appears instantly, within seconds of taking this first layer off. So, can I taste the sap from this one?
Of course, but it's still liquid. But
Yes.
you just can't touch it.
Have a little taste.
Yeah. Okay. You can taste it. It's better, yeah? It's really better, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was bitter, but at the same time it was really complex. It had a wonderful aromatic fragrance to it, a fruity note as well. But more than anything else, I just found there was something mystical about it. I know what frankincense tastes like, but from being there, from that tree, it was something you couldn't put your finger on, otherworldly. Before I carried on in my search to find the next of my three gifts, there was time to share a special local drink, fresh camel's milk.
Milk.
Is that milk?
Yes.
Camel milk?
No problem.
Okay, here.
This, come on. This. Hold.
Yeah.
This is good, the milk.
Good.
Good.
It's very good.
This is good.
Yeah. Now to the meal. I decided to create a frankincense tea to include in my dish. So this magical piece of kit is essentially a distillator. And here, I've got the frankincense sap crystallized that I brought back from Oman. And the idea with this is to actually making extraction at a lower temperature for frankincense. This machine creates a vacuum which causes water to boil at 40 degrees. The vapor is then condensed to create a frankincense hydrosol. Extracting at low temperature means that much more of those magical qualities will be preserved. So this is my frankincense water. With frankincense captured, next on my quest was myrrh. For this, I headed to see some local healers who regularly use it as medicine. When I arrived at their shop, I found it to be a treasure trove of exciting concoctions.
So they call it the hand of Mother Jesus, this one.
Oh, okay.
Very expensive, this
Is
one.
it?
And it turns to Viagra. This is the best.
Class A myrrh.
Yeah.
You're looking at it, you think it looks a bit like a stone.
Yeah.
Or you touch it,
Yeah,
it's not. You can see it's crystallized sap. The purest myrrh comes straight from the trunk of a tree and is one of the most important local medicinal ingredients. It's used in all manner of ways, one of which is burning it to help sore throats. Leave the pin, everything's okay.
No, it's good. You go for like
It might be good for a cold, but it wasn't something I wanted to give my guests. The next option was myrrh mixed with honey.
It's always better to eat after 24 hours.
The honey mix was still too bitter to use in my meal. It tasted very much like rubber. How about eating myrrh in its rawest form? What happens if I was just to bite a piece of myrrh?
وش يحصل إذا كلها الحبة؟
Will I die? It's quite bitter, but that's only because I've just eaten it raw. I was thinking, how on earth am I going to get this into the dish? Because unlike the frankincense, which is wonderfully aromatic, quite hedonistic, there was an aniseed-like quality about the myrrh, but there was also a real bitterness and a slight rubbery note to it. That was going to be a real challenge.